podcast. This is Alicia, and I'm really excited to have this conversation today because I have a really good friend of mine here, Mel, who is. We were just talking on social media one day, and she's like, "I want to be on the podcast because there's some things that we just need to be talking about as it relates to current events in not just in the United States, but on a global scale." And we've talked about some of this stuff in the past, but I was like, this will be a great time for us just to kind of like talk more about it because we haven't had a chance to like talk in person in a while. So I was like, yeah, let's get on this mic and let's just do it. So I am so excited for y'all to meet Mel Nunez. Nunez, right? Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
I always mess it up. Mel Nunez, she's here on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here today, Mel.
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
I, you are so welcome. Guys, it was so. I mean, there's so many things that are going on right now, right? And so I think one of the things that we were like, okay, I think a lot of people are like, and I don't want to say they're missing it, and you chime in whenever you want, Mel, but I feel like in some ways people are missing the correlation of all the things that are happening on a global scale based off what's happening here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And one thing you were saying earlier, and you can go further into detail about that now, about how people are not connecting the dots with like what we see happening in Palestine versus what's happening here right now in the United States, particularly in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just people a lot of people don't get it because in order for you to understand exactly what is going on, you have to do the work. You have to
Right,
do the work to deconstruct and decolonize. And it is
right,
very hard to do that considering that we are bombarded with colonized propaganda our entire lives. Because,
right,
like, there's people now that will say abolish ICE, but they'll still have a problem with abolish police.
right,
When there are two wings of the same bird,
right,
what we allow to happen to marginalized people will absolutely boomerang into the rest of us. And,
right.
like, I remember when all this shit was happening in Gaza, and I'm just in my mind I'm just looking at all these videos and saying to myself, what is stopping the people in power from doing that exact same shit to us?
Right.
What is stopping them from bombing all of us to fucking hell and then building a brand new city on our bodies, on our graves,
Right.
like what they're doing in
Right.
Gaza? They will absolutely.
Right.
They don't give a,
Right.
and it's like too many people want to hold on to this idea of we could save America. We just need to get rid of Trump and everything will go back to normal. We just got to elect the Democrats. And the whole system is built
Yes.
to basically carry out the shit that we are seeing with our own eyes.
Right. Right. And I'm so glad you brought that up about the whole political aspect because I think a lot of people too, like you said, they're like, oh, if we get some Democrats in here, things will change and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you realize this, they all work together. And so much so, I saw something the other day. Well, I saw a few things which I thought were funny. One, I saw something where they said that Democrats are like the HR of the government. Like they'll listen to your stuff, but they'll throw out a few things to make you feel like they're doing stuff, but they're really
Hmm.
working for the organization. I mean, they at the end
Absolutely.
of the day, they like HR is not going to just go fight the power. No, they're going to come in and they're going to look at all the laws based off what they can and can't do legally to sustain the status quo. But they'll make you feel like they're there for your actual well-being, and it's like no,
Oh
that's not the
yeah, they'll
case
go
by
on the
any means.
floor and they'll talk for 25 hours about how Trump needs to be defeated and all this shit. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. They will sell that shit to you, you know,
Right,
make you think that you doing something like, yes, we are fighting. No King's
right,
rally. Everybody just stand over there and don't disrupt anything. Honey,
right, right, and
every
and I
right
think
that
too,
you
it's like
have has been obtained through bloodshed.
yes,
Remember that
and I
shit.
think there's
Peaceful protests don't do shit.
right, and that's the thing. I think that's where a lot of people are. I don't know if it's that they're not aware of that, or they're afraid to go there because we have been conditioned in this place. Because that's another thing I saw too, Mel. It was like somebody was saying like Democrats are here to make sure that we don't rebel, that we don't go there. Like they're kind of like that. They want to be that go between. Like don't mess it up too much because we still are a part of this entire system.
Hmm.
Like that. Like yeah. Thank you for pointing that out too. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying?
even what the governor said, Tim Walz, like what he said, like, oh, we can't give them a reason to mess with us.
What does that mean? Like
Yeah, like
but
we
that's
have to exactly like they're messing with us because we exist. Period.
that part. And the thing is that there was nothing that provoked them to quote unquote mess with us from the beginning. We just been living our damn lives here in this country, just trying to survive based off the economic issues, everything that's happening. We're trying to survive, and then here you come bringing this bullshit, and it's like, how did we provoke any of this stuff that's happening right now? Like, make it make sense. I don't get it. You
Exactly.
know?
And like these governors they've been a complete disappointment. They haven't done anything. All they're doing is talking. Nobody like if you was about it, you would say when the first
Mm-hmm.
murder took place,
Right.
this ICE agent needs to be arrested immediately.
Right.
There needs to be an
Right.
investigation into these detention centers. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't call on the
Yeah.
police to help us because they're part
Right.
of that team, which is why
They're
we've
all
been
a part of the
saying
thing.
abolish police, defund police, whatever the
Right.
fuck you're comfortable with. But at the end of the day, that system needs to go away. It needs to be reimagined. Public
Right.
safety needs to
Right.
be completely reimagined because what we have right now is literally just an army for the ruling class against the people.
Right.
And the
Right.
politicians are their
And I
lawyers.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I think that's where it's like convincing people. I don't even want to say convincing people, but making people aware. Because it's not even about convincing. You have to like you said at the beginning of this conversation, you have to do the work. You have to investigate because if you're looking at things at face value, you if you, and you believe that, of course you're gonna think people like me and you are just crazy, just talking out of our heads. It's like, no, this is the propaganda. This is what they're putting in your face. Like, go beyond this bullshit because that's what it is, bullshit. You know?
Exactly. I mean, like they just feel like the way that shit is done now, like they just can't imagine it being done differently because I don't know, they just feel like, this colonizer like manifestation of what society is what it was the greatest of all time, you know? I mean, like, but that they've
Right.
been conditioned to think that. Um, honestly, like I started doing the work when Trump was elected the first time in
Yep.
2016 because like when that happened, I didn't vote that year because I didn't like Hillary
Right.
or Trump, but I didn't think that Trump was actually going to win.
Right.
I didn't think that it was actually going to happen. And then when it happened,
Right.
it kind of just blew up the reality that I have been taught my whole life that
Yeah.
civil rights movement came and went and we are better for it. There's no
Right.
more racism. We elected Obama.
Right.
I know that
Right.
some black people get shot, but like we're getting better at this, aren't we? Like, the body cams
Yep.
and, no. You need to stop.
Right.
Once that reality blew up for me, I was like, okay, I need
Right.
to understand how this happened. Like how did we elect
Right.
this man? How? Why does he have all these supporters? And yeah, slowly but surely, and that's been 10 years now. And like
Right.
you basically slowly but surely start to deconstruct and realize who the enemy is.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we really fighting against? What are we fighting against? Newsflash, we're fighting against colonization. And if y'all
Right.
think that colonization is this old like type thing that happened centuries ago, and Palestine is an example of it still happening today. What's happening in
Right.
Minnesota is an occupation, and that is
Right.
just the beginning. You
Right.
know, is the imperial boomerang. What we allow to happen to other nations will eventually come back to us. What happened in World War II with the Holocaust was because
Right.
Europeans were perfectly fine with their government doing the most heinous and horrendous shit to the people in Africa. To the
Right.
belt what
Right.
yes, what Belgium did to the Congo then,
Mm.
all those human experiments and quotas. You need to work this much for me so I can make money. I can make money. Oh, you don't want to work? Pop. That's it. Like
Right.
that shit. It just we only focus on the Holocaust because that was white people.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I
Say
mean?
that.
And we only focus
Say
on those
that.
6 million Jews, but altogether it was 11 million people that the Nazis took out
Right.
because it was also gay
Right.
people, it was also
Right.
disabled people, it was gypsies, it was the homeless, it was people that didn't have the same ideology, socialist and communist people, all of
Right.
those people, like 11 million people. There's 8 million people living in New York City. Imagine if a regime just came
Mm.
and took all of us out like that. And
Right.
we don't talk, we don't come to terms with these kind of horrors. We think that they won't come for us. But what we're witnessing now is that they absolutely will, because they want to
Right.
retain that power regardless of anything. It's dark.
And it's very dark, but the thing is, it's something that needs to be discussed. You know what I'm saying? People have to start really opening their eyes to what's happening, because it's like, at what point are you going to acknowledge that, what we see here in the United States, like, we have been beyond protected in this country. Has there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we've had atrocities happen here for against black and brown folks, but when you think of this on a global scale, like, we have been beyond protected,
Absolutely.
beyond. But the atrocities amongst black and brown folks has always been a thing, but because the status quo of, white folks feeling, because they've been under this like bubble and cushion, now that that's been burst, it's like, oh my gosh, like, how do we now kind of like, come together? How do we even, how can this even happen to us, right?
Mhm.
And I think I'm kind of going around the bend here, but I think that is what's kind of like driving me crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, how is this happening to us? How could they do this? Now we have to like, band together. And listen, I'm not taking away from because this is horrible. The things that have happened to Renee Nicole Good, Alex Preddy, like this, that's human life. That's human life lost for
Mhm.
something so ridiculous. But my issue is, it's like, now it's 5 alarms that have to be called. Now we have to get moving. And it's like,
Yeah.
why does it have to take someone of a white skin color to be the thing to now raise alarms around this whole issue that's been happening since the beginning of time? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's something that white people need to that's something that they need to deconstruct within themselves. Now, why is it that the
Right.
victim has to look like them in order for them to feel some kind of sympathy?
Right.
You know,
Right.
that is something within themselves that they have to work on. I mean, like the
Right.
way that all of us have been colonized and propagandized and conditioned, so have white people. You know, like
Yes.
the superiority sense that has been drilled into them their whole lives, and it's like,
Mm.
because even someone like me, like even though I'm Hispanic, I mean, like, because in the Spanish community, colorism is rampant,
Right.
but we don't consider ourselves racist because we're not white. We kind of
Mm.
put ourselves in the same boat as black people, but we have to recognize that if you look like me, you have white privilege.
Right.
Because
Right.
growing up, I had plenty of darker skinned friends that were followed around the store, and I wasn't. You know what I
Wow.
mean? I
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I heard it over and over again. Oh, you're pretty for a black girl, or like,
Wow.
or you have nicer hair for a black girl. They've never said that shit to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like
Right.
we have to come to terms what white privilege is, and we absolutely experience it, even in the Latinx community. You know,
Right.
and we want to like separate ourselves from that shit. When in reality, that's a reckoning that we have to come with. So it's like if I myself was conditioned into thinking that way, and I'm not even technically white. I'm technically a person of color.
Right.
Imagine how white women and white people, like
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like the system has been completely designed to keep them in this state, and to break out of it, like like I said, like everything, like when I started learning everything, you know, 10 years in, I've learned a lot, and I've
Yeah.
realized how much work it takes to actually decolonize you. And I know that
Right.
it's probably really harder if you have multiple kids, if you have all these jobs, if you got
Right.
school, and it's like you don't really have time to read all these history books and shit like that, but you have to do the
Right.
work because ultimately it's
Right.
freeing. Like everything that I
Yeah.
learned made me understand better the world that I live in, and now I could maneuver it.
Yes. Yes.
I know my place. You know what I mean? Like a lot of
Yeah.
well-meaning white people want to help, but they do shit like censor themselves. Like all these white women that want
Right.
to join the Black Panther Party now. It's
Which is like what?
like I know y'all mean well, but if you do the work, you will realize why that's a problem. So like, it's a lot of work, and like I mean like education is absolutely important. Um
Right.
and just like reading books and like realizing who the enemy is, because a
Yeah.
lot of us think that the
Right.
enemies are Republicans, are conservatives,
Yes.
but it's actually an
Right.
ideology that are followed
Yeah.
by multiple people of multiple skins and multiple genders and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If
Yeah. No. Right. No, it's true. And I thank you for bringing that up. And then also, I wanted to go back to what you were saying as it relates to colorism, because because even in the Black community, there's colorism. I'm pretty sure you're aware of this as well, because growing up, that was a thing. And it's so interesting how in spaces of people of color, colorism is something that keeps even us divided as people. Um, if you were lighter skinned, you were better, right? If you had a what they
you
considered
were
like good
prettier, you
hair,
were better,
yeah,
right? You were less
yeah,
scary.
yes, exactly. And so I always remember kind of like being like in the middle of that. Like I wasn't like crazy dark skin, but I'm brown, but I still wasn't light enough to be in the what they considered the elite. So it was always weird navigating spaces and then
Hmm.
hearing certain things, even about my hair, because back in the day I would get my hair relaxed. And if it got to a certain point where they called it the new growth, if that was, like, oh, you got to get you some people said perm, you got to get you a perm because, oh God, and so it's like
Hmm.
those little things that we're still trying to break apart too. It's like there's so many
And
layers.
all of
Like you
that
say,
is
it's 10
colonizer
years.
mentality.
Yes, yes,
All of that is colonizer mentality. People telling me, why you cut your hair? You have good hair.
you
Let it
got your
grow.
good hair, right. It's
Like, I don't want to
but
hear it. My short hair look good on me.
right, exactly. Exactly.
My little Caesar cut be
Exactly.
looking good. So it's like, I don't know what, yeah. But yeah, all of that is colonizer mentality. And we we need to deconstruct all of that. We need to like
Right.
get like, you see how you say like, colorism divides us. That's ultimately the
Right.
goal, is the divide and conquer. That is,
Yes.
everybody knows that divide and conquer is real, it's true, but yet we fall for it,
Yep.
you know?
Yes.
Like the Democrat and Republican thing. They have us completely
Yeah.
divided when in reality, we actually agree on the policies that need to change. We agree
Right.
that there needs to be better gun control. We agree that we deserve universal health care. We agree that people should not go into debt because they're sick. People that work 40
Right.
hours a week should be able to afford a living. People that have
Yeah.
children should be able to afford daycare. Our schools
Yep.
should be funded. We all agree on that shit,
Right.
whether you conservative or liberal. We do. It's just these
Right.
motherfuckers on
Right.
TV that are telling you, but no. the government shouldn't fund this, that, and the third, and all this. And it's just like, what? If you pay
Right.
taxes, why the fuck not?
Right. And I think but that's what's so weird to me with certain people. I'm like, okay, you pay into this system, right? Like,
Hmm.
where do you think that money goes? Like that, it's
To
just like, oh,
Israel.
there's not. Thank say that, say all of that. And I think that's where a lot of people are also like completely detached. It's like you think of Israel, you think of other countries, they're way over there. And okay, in terms of like mileage, of course, they're far. But in terms of our money, they're right here on this damn soil because they take the majority of the money that we put in, it goes to them. So it's like they're not that far from us when you think of it in that
Hmm.
way. And we need to be more involved in what's happening because of that reason.
Absolutely. And it's like, and we're also united in the fact that, like, I'm pretty sure the majority of us don't like the fact that our tax dollars go to bomb Palestinians in Israel. No, the majority of us have a
Exactly.
problem with that. So it's
Right.
like the unity is what they are most afraid of, which is why we need to work the hardest to achieve,
Right.
you know?
Right. So yeah. Also, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I wanted to ask you because you were saying it's been about 10 years of you researching and learning things, and I know there might be some people that are listening right now. They're like, "What does that look like? Like, how do I even get started on this road of like researching and learning beyond the propaganda that I've been taught all my life? Like, where did you get started with all that? You know what I'm saying?"
Oh my God, I remember the first thing I did was Google, how does the government work? Because I didn't
Mm.
understand how Hillary won the popular vote, but she didn't win the electoral. What the fuck is the electoral college? So that was like the first thing I Googled, like, how does the government even work? And then, I
Right.
understand Congress, the House, the Senate,
Yeah.
so like I started there. Um, you have to read about black liber what's the word I'm looking for? Not libertarian. Liberty,
What,
liberation. That's the word.
liberation?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
liberation. You have to read about black liberation in
Right.
this country because if you read that, then you see
Right.
exactly what the fuck they're doing and what they've
Right.
been doing. Because
Right.
what they've been doing to black people here is what they've been doing to everybody in South America. What they did to people in the Middle East. What they did to people in Africa. Damn, am I frozen?
Oh, I think I lost. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I think we had lost each other.
See, the conversation was getting too good.
Exactly.
The
They're like,
conversation was
shut it
getting too good. The
down.
enemy was like, "No, we need to shut them down." But
Right.
yeah,
Right. Right.
so yeah, learn about how your government works. You should learn about the history of the government, of how they have installed all of these horrific laws that has always marginalized a group of people at the expense of somebody else. But like reading about Black
Right.
liberation will definitely give you the blueprint, and it will show you who the enemy is. And then once you start
Right.
researching colonization abroad, like, what after World War II, what the United States was doing in South America, how they would over and over again, dethrone or assassinate a democratically elected leader who was oftentimes socialist. And they will
Right.
install their puppet, their United States puppet that would allow them. This is crazy. My phone literally shut off because it said it was too
No.
hot and it just shut off.
Shut up.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
Right.
right.
Well, let me tell
So
you something. I was. Oh, I'm getting that echo. Do you hear the echo?
no, I don't hear it.
Oh, maybe it's just on my end.
Damn.
No, it's okay. Let me see. Okay, everything's in place. It'll probably like pan out eventually. But I will say this: when you were talking about the whole conspiracy theorist thing, I don't know. Are you on TikTok?
No, but I know what's going on there.
right. And my TikTok account is like I can't even access it properly. Like it just keeps showing the same videos over and over. If I post, I posted 2 videos the other day and 0 views, and I normally get a lot of views. And I was like, okay, something is definitely up. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's
Um,
crazy how quickly that
yeah.
happened.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Like out of nowhere, it just like boom. And it's what's even crazier is my daughter's friend came because she's in college now, and she came into the room the other day. She's like, "Oh my god, my TikTok is so different. Blah blah blah. Something's up," and I was like, "What?" And then after I looked at my account, like logged in, and I was like, "Oh, these kids are right. Something is happening, right?
Mm.
Like this is." And this even speaks to what we're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all trying to control us. And even with sharing like how you started investigating things, it's like they don't want us to go further than what's already here, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like
Yeah.
the we can't forget how education has been attacked in this country over the last like
Right.
3 decades. You
Right.
know, um, because that is absolutely contributing to the problem. The fact that
Right.
like we have so many people that are illiterate, so many people that just like because our schools are just they're completely defunded. You know, our
Right.
teachers are overworked. They are not paid properly. Our education is completely outdated. You know, like all of that
Yeah.
shit is a contribution. Everything is a plan. It's absolutely designed, you know.
Right.
So it's like I don't like I've read a number of books of historical context, but there's people that don't like to read. You know what? There's audiobooks, there's
Yep.
plenty of documentaries that'll definitely at least give you like a window into what the fuck is what's going on in the actual world you live in and who you actually are fighting against, you
Right.
know?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like yeah, so find out how your government works. Because honestly, I think a lot of us don't. We don't know, or we don't remember what we were taught in school about like how the
Right.
branches of government work, and like when they talk about what's legal and what's not legal, whatever, whatever. But also like study, like I said, Black liberation throughout this country, and study colonization abroad. Shit that the CIA has been responsible for. Like
Right.
I've said this before, like the CIA is a global terrorist organization
Yep.
funded by our tax dollars.
Full stop. Seriously.
And people ain't mad
Seriously.
about that. And they absolutely
Right.
should be.
Right. Exactly. Um, and the thing is, like, I don't even know, like, in terms, and maybe you have some ideas, but like, it's like here we are with all this information, but it's like, now what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we go with this? How do we put this in action to in the way that it's going to help the um the greater good of everyone in this country? Like, how do we even move forward with that? Because what we're seeing right now, like the protests and all that, I mean, fine, of course, people are going to express themselves in whatever way is necessary, but after all this has happened, how do we then move forward with this information that we have about this country, and change it in a way that, like I said, that benefits everyone? Like I said, I don't know, but maybe I don't know. Maybe you have some ideas.
Like a lot of us think that we don't know what to do, but honestly, like getting on here and just having these conversations that'll help
Yeah.
other people even have the language to express.
Right.
Because a lot of us, like, that's something that with me that I realized is that anytime I would get into a discussion about it, I really didn't have the language to express why this was wrong, but
Right.
deep down inside, you know that it is.
Right.
Like even like, before this white man was murdered, all these black people that were killed, and everybody was like, but they did this, but they did that. And it's always like,
Right.
that argument is bad, but once
Mm-hmm.
you do the work and you know that like actually it doesn't fucking matter what they did. The reason why they were
Right.
murked was because of racism, period. You know?
Right.
And this is all the evidence that I've had because this country has given us 400 years of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
this is why all of that shit is important. You don't doubt yourself anymore once you do the work and you understand. So it's like us just giving people the language.
Yeah.
We also have to come to terms with the fact that regardless of what we do now, we'll probably never
Hmm.
see the end of this empire. This shit is going to outlive us. But that doesn't
Right.
mean that we shouldn't fight because it needs to be done because what these people are doing is not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This
Exactly.
empire and capitalism and this shit is not sustainable. So it's
Right.
either we allow these motherfuckers to completely take us out or we fight until the bitter end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like and we have to be comfortable with the fact that this is gonna outlive us. The fight is gonna
Right.
outlive us, but that doesn't mean that we don't fight, you know. And honestly, it starts locally.
Yeah.
It starts locally. We need to band together with our neighbors because what's happening in Minnesota is going to come to our cities. It's
Yeah.
going to come to our cities. And these people, they've
Yeah.
already talking about that they don't need warrants to go into your home and snatch
That's
up whoever the
crazy.
fuck they want. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
is
it's like
wow.
we need to organize locally. We need
Right.
to focus on mutual aid. We need to stop waiting on this democratic, suave hero
Thank
that's going to
you.
come and scoop us up and help. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. Mandami,
Right.
he's going to do the best he can. But at the end of the day,
Right.
we
Right.
cannot. Yeah, like we can't wait on him. We have to save
Right.
ourselves. You
Right.
know,
Right.
we shouldn't be waiting for a leader. We need each other.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
it's like I feel like all of these things, ultimately we're fighting against imperialism, we're fighting against colonialism, we're fighting against capitalism. These are the enemies.
Right.
And do
Right.
everything that you can to not be involved in those systems,
Right.
which
Right.
means stop shopping at Target, stop going to Starbucks,
Right.
support your local businesses. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Use your money, your income wisely. Spend money, mutual aid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this whole vote blue no matter who bullshit. Like, people
No,
are saying
absolutely
that they're
not.
holding holding the Democrats, they're holding them responsible now. But in 4 years, when it's Gavin Newsom up against Trump if he's still alive, or JD Vance,
Right.
and everybody, but you have to vote for Gavin. No,
No.
I don't want to fucking
No.
hear it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's the thing too, is like so many people are like looking for this savior,
Hmm.
particularly Democrats at this point. And it's like, friends, we have like been pacified long enough with this bullshit, thinking that someone is going, like you said, coming in to save us. That's not it. We are the people. We have the power. Like I say that a lot on this podcast, like power to the people. We pay into this system. If this system would not operate without us. So if we pull
Absolutely.
ourselves out of it and create something new, we have the power. It's just us taking um being brave enough to do just that, you
Exactly.
know?
We need to reimagine the system. We have to realize that capitalism has only been around for the last couple of hundred years. Human
Right.
beings don't fucking need it.
That part.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
Like it has done
Right.
way more damage than it has done good. Way more.
Exactly.
So it's like we don't need this fucking system. It's the same thing with the police. We don't fucking need
Right.
them. I'm sorry. We
Right.
could reimagine
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Because if you think about it too, it's like a thing of like somebody imagined this current reality we're in. Somebody
Exactly. This
imagined
isn't
that.
God made. This is man made.
Right. 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 And so if this can be created, something else can be created too, guys. Like this doesn't have to be our reality. It just doesn't.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
um Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Mel, this was amazing. You have to come back to the podcast for real because
Oh,
this
anytime.
was so cool. Like Mel said, y'all, just get out there and start with, like she said, just that quick Google search. How does the government work? And then from there, like you said, look at Black liberation. Look at all these different things that have led up to where we are now.
Hmm.
Educate yourself. Never stop learning. That's my thing. I'm always wanting to learn. Like, our learning situation never ends till the day we die, literally.
Absolutely.
Stay
Yes.
informed.
Yes. Keep learning. Like, if you stop learning, like you stay stagnant, and I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever been stagnant, it's fucking miserable.
Yes,
Most people that are
exactly.
stagnant are miserable, but learning is
Yep.
like it's a lifelong journey, and decolonizing is a lifelong journey. My white
Exactly.
friends, you becoming anti-racist is a lifelong journey, but it has to be done.
Exactly.
It has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my oh my gosh, Mel. This was awesome. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. This was great.
Yes, you have to come back. Y'all, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Eating Me podcast. I will see y'all next week. Oh my gosh, thank you again.